All right, 3, 2, 1, go. I'm Pat.
I'm Will.
I'm Jeffrey.
Welcome back, William.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's great to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're sort of in the middle of a discussion about luck, and I mean this is the thing. It's not luck as a concept. I know it does, right? But there's
You
again
know it does? There is luck?
some form of it. Yeah, I mean just if you're gonna take a look at the like randomness of probabilities or that kind of thing, you know, kind of like when you cleaned house at
Craps.
craps, right? You know, part of that is just like you don't get to predict that. It's just the numbers went this way, you made these decisions, and they happen to align, right? But that's the thing is like when it comes down to it. All right, so there are things that they have an element of luck, but they also have an element of merit of like you're a good person, right? And that's something that they're seeing like jobs. Same thing we were talking about with Patrick here, like. Yeah, he's been at that university for a long time. He has a good track record. You know, he's a extremely cooperative employee, right?
Mostly.
You know, and these are the things that made them consider you. Where you're like, yeah, so there's luck in that somebody died, which is sort of
I say that's bad luck. Yeah. That's bad.
for him, yes, or her.
Yeah. So, but
Was it time?
I don't know.
There's no idea
I don't
what
know
the
the story.
circumstance.
Yeah, I don't know the story. So, yeah.
It wasn't a 98-year-old faculty person.
No, we got 1 or 2 of those though. So, it could go any day now.
Right.
So, at least on my faculty. Yeah, I think they kind of top out at about 65. There's a couple who are pretty close to that. There's other departments, like, there is a guy that's ancient, and he's in the chemistry department.
Oh,
And he just refuses to retire, because they can't make you retire.
oh really?
They
Oh.
can't, once you make tenure.
What if you're just really not good at teaching anymore?
Nobody gives a shit about that.
Yeah, you have to do something.
All right.
Yeah, this is.
That was a dumb question.
Yeah, you have to teach the children, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, there's like, did you touch the girls?
Did you
It's like-
touch the girl?
it's like-
Did you touch the boys?
it's like, all right, you say no, we can prove that you did. All right. We all watched the video.
Right, yeah.
So-
Which is just, yeah.
You signed up right here that said you watched
Yeah.
it, whether you watched it or not. So
Yeah. No, that's completely just. Hey, we told Jeff not to touch the children, so it's not our fault that he did. So this is on him. And yeah, no, but like your ability to teach has nothing to do with whether or not you're going to be successful in college. So, I mean, it doesn't hurt if you're good at it. So,
So kids, go to college.
Go to college. Yeah. So you might run into some really, really gnarly professors. So, I mean, I did. So he did.
they're supposed to.
Yeah, you're
And
supposed
you
to.
did too. Yeah.
I don't know if they were gnarly. I don't know.
I went to the dean over one. She told me to fuck off, basically. So she's like, "Did she ask you to do it this way?" I was like, "Yes." And she's like, "Then do it that way." So,
Oh, that's how the world works.
was, yeah.
Well, in whatever fucking year that you asked, yeah.
Yeah. Well, what was that? It'd be back in the 90s. So yeah, it still kind of works that way. I mean, I've had a few students. I've never really had a complaint. I've had people like try and give me a little bit of like grief over grades, but I've always been like, okay, redo it. And they're, well, no, and it's like, oh, so you don't want to do the work. Got it.
If you cared.
If you cared.
Here's your path.
Yeah.
And then there's the other side where you have students that'll be like, "Can I redo it?"
Sure. Yeah. I never have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If they ask me that, the answer is always sure. Knock yourself out.
Because what you're supposed to do, like look at it and say like, "No, I refuse to give you the opportunity to learn from your mistake and try to." I mean,
So I'm gonna write that down and use that next time.
by all means, yeah.
Who wants teachable moments?
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
We're gonna flush the toilet on that right now.
Did you not read the board
Yeah.
on the first day? Measure twice, cut once.
Oh, that's even better. I'm gonna use that. Measure twice, cut once. You done cut. So,
Once you cut, that's permanent. That's
Yeah.
what I'm teaching you.
yeah.
I've measured twice and cut and still got it wrong because the number in my head was the wrong number that I was measuring to.
Well, the implication is that you measured correctly, yeah, and yeah, absolutely, I can completely.
I didn't accommodate for this 2-inch pole that was in the middle there or something like that. That I was like, oh, damn it. Maybe this will fit in somewhere else.
Dude, I completely understand. No, I get it. But yeah, I see what you're saying, and yeah, it just makes perfect sense. Where, and I do know that there are a lot of educational systems where there's a huge emphasis on that. It's not that it's not redoing is something that's seen as like a privilege or like something like that. It is no, you have to keep redoing it until you do it right.
Yeah, well, I've always kind of liked that. So,
So much to the point where the first time I heard in like the UK system, when they say that you're going through this period when you're actually doing quote unquote revisions.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah, well, actually, most of my graduate work was like that too.
Ah.
They're like submit it and then revise and resubmit, and then revise and resubmit. So it's kind of a pain in the ass.
So I don't know if it's true. I can't find anywhere that it's printed that way. My girlfriend said that during the COVID years, she had a friend that had a high school boy, and to adjust the grading system to accommodate, they made A's from 0 to 90, B's went from 89 to like 72. C's went from 71 down to like 40.
Oh my god, that's no C, that's F.
And there were no D's.
See, that I'm actually on board with. So I think you should go from C to F. So
I agree.
Yeah, D's are useless grades, so they might as well be an F. So,
Or C.
well, yeah, or if it's good enough, a C.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
but no,
Huh, interesting.
I have heard of other schools that did that though.
Well, if you have a D, you get a half credit for it.
It's not an F.
It's not, but I mean, ultimately, what does that do for you in terms of your schedule, right? Because they don't offer like half a class in what you just fucked up. You have to retake it.
Depends on it. Yeah, our university doesn't do it that way. So, but
No?
but D's count as ones on your GPA, and F's are zeros.
Right.
All right, so you can redo an F, but you cannot redo a D. So
Oh.
you lock in a fucking D. So yeah,
Oh.
yeah, they will not let you retake the class if you actually get a D out of it. If it's in your major, if it's like just some bullshit you're taking, they don't give a shit. So
In fact, I think they have a way to just scrub some of those.
I don't know.
It's
So
something like
You
that.
get to erase your 2 lowest grades.
it's a
You know-
pig head.
You know what, dude? I don't have a problem with that. If you're honest about that, because if I'm going to look at somebody's otherwise brilliant academic career, right, and then see the whole thing get basically tanked by like a D in something that is,
That just does not suit you.
Will, it's funny because going with your background, the more and more that I've polled people when I asked them about what they had trouble in college with, the answer was almost uniformly microbiology.
Yep, biochem for me.
Organic chemistry sucks.
I've heard that from you. I've heard that from other people. But yeah, there's a lot of people that talk about microbiology as the hardest thing that they ever did.
Huh. Well, it's fun.
Well, I'd ask you, why do other people find it so difficult?
It's a lot of weird words you're having to memorize doing different things.
How much of that turns into basically like unit conversion? Like a lot or no?
No,
It's
they're
more like anatomy, right?
yeah, well, and like how the organisms work, and they all got funky names, so you gotta, and then what they're doing all have funky names, so it's like you're learning another language while learning what's actually going on.
I feel like other fields would be just as bad
I
with
would assume
rote
so,
memorization. Yeah, but
Yeah, I guess so. I
but
don't really know.
microbiology comes up as like, I hate this.
I I don't know. I liked the subject, so I guess it wasn't.
Same, yeah. Like when I took, A and P, I mean, it was
What's
it's
A and P?
oh, anatomy, physiology.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Um,
yeah,
I
that
never
was
took
awesome.
It was also just memorization and like remember a lot of this crap to this day. It's like, well, so if the hand's out like this, it's supination
Oh yeah, dude, God,
versus pronation.
I was master at memorizing for tests. My
You just
my
watch.
information that I retained from college is not extensive. So
Okay.
yeah, I could. There's 0% chance of me passing an anatomy physiology class right now, test right now. So
I'd pass. I clearly would not. I mean, you probably remember metacarpals versus metatarsals. Which are on the feet. Which one's the radius? Which one's the ulna?
they're in the arm.
They are?
Yeah.
They are.
I don't know. Remember which one's which.
Okay, well, the ulna is, you can tell because when you look at it, it's the one that hooks into the elbow joint and it has a U shape, ulna. And the radius has that little rotating radial ball where
Yeah, I totally would not pass this class.
you're fine. Don't Don't
Well,
worry about it.
Oh, I'm not worried. I have no intention of taking a test
Right.
on it anymore. So there's just bits and pieces along the way that I have, but I'm sure it would take just a little bit to go through and read it all again and start piecing it together again. But
Oh yeah, you could look at the book and just be fine. This is. I've talked about this before. I don't have full control over what I remember and what I don't. So, as we were kind of walking back our previous grade school teachers and things like that, I don't get to pick. I don't get to pick all the memories I have. I've got.
Yours is fairly comprehensive, though,
You're
man.
pretty
Yeah.
good.
So, it's not like of 2 you're picking 1. It's like of 100 you pick 98. Yeah. So yeah. See, I'm much more about that 50-50. In fact, that pretty much goes for about a week-on-week basis now. So
yeah, I'm grasping at random things. They just pop up and I'm like, oh yeah. Or just be like, oh, I was just humming a song from 3rd grade.
See, that's the dumbest part. Is when you're just like, why do I know this song? Like, why?
Why did that
Where
stick?
does this come from? Yeah.
I have no idea.
Like, I know we were talking about playing the what was it, the snot recorder, or what was it, whatever the thing was that people just spit into.
The hot cross buns thing.
it's called a recorder.
Yeah.
No, there was another instrument that had an actual spit.
Saxophone.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I did
there
not
was-
play a saxophone.
No, they didn't pass those out to the 3rd graders. Man.
No, you had to buy one of those or rent one of those from, what was it, like Grainer or
Grainer. They're still around, man. So
Yeah, the one right across the street from Doherty is probably still there, isn't it?
no, that one's got it moved.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It moved. It's the same company. So, but it moved. So I saw it not too long ago. I think it's over on Academy. So
Academy? Is it near Crap for Less?
no,
Does
that's
that
Dawson
exist?
Bluffs. So,
No, I mean, is that the play it against sport? Is that what you're talking about for Crap for Less?
No, there was this so there was this place called, it was Scrap for Less.
Scrap for less.
Oh.
No,
I
it
never-
was. It was a dollar store, and they had a sign up that said "Scrapbook Blowout."
Well, and there was one that also said
Yeah.
Scrap for Less.
Okay.
There were two signs,
There were two
but they were
signs.
both obfuscated by the same electrical pole. So if you just look, it says Crap for Less and Crap Book Blowout. And
Okay, gotcha.
and it just stuck. It was right there at the corner.
It's on Austin Bluffs.
Well, it was at Austin Bluffs, but I think it was in the what would have been the extended part of the Qzar.
Yeah, it's
Area.
parts. Yeah, Austin Bluffs and parts.
No, the store
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
Right next to Sticks.
Yeah.
So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
the fighting place in all of Colorado Springs. So, no, that would be Stablin House. Never mind.
I was gonna say the old corner pocket used to have
That's true.
have a couple
Yeah.
of and what's the place that the military guys were barred from going?
Pinkies. Oh no. The Copperhead place.
Yeah, the place
yeah,
with the
yeah.
fucking like car Stonehenge shit.
Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 places that you are not allowed to go to if you're in the army. So in town, I think that's one of them.
Do they like check your ID as you walk in?
No, but if you get busted, so meaning you fight somebody there, you're fucked. You know?
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah, it's not the store that blocks.
It's not the store that
They can
cares.
take your
Yeah,
money.
they'll take your money. Yeah.
That's funny. I like his perspective there. It's like, oh, this is a military, gone.
Yeah.
Get out.
Well, is there like a special law or something?
No,
No,
it's
Or
the
the military?
The military can tell you where to shop if
Yeah.
you're in the military. Yeah.
You're not shopping.
They can tell you what places you cannot visit.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
So, and that one is on the list. There's a couple others. There was like, I don't know. It was one of the bigger ones downtown. What was it Southside Johnny's? Was it the big blues bar?
Oh,
It was like 3 bars glued together. So it was weird.
wow!
It
I
was
know what you're
huge,
talking
yeah.
about. Yeah, because that was the place that used to be a club, right? That was a place that.
There's a couple of those down there, but I know they were barred. They were barred from going to Cowboys for the longest time. I don't know if Cowboys is still there. So
I don't know, but I think because the two across from each other used to be Rum Bay and Tequilas.
those are long gone.
Yeah,
Those are long gone. So,
and Eden's that place was like 5 bars put together, 5 clubs put together. But,
yeah,
it's been a long time since.
it's been a long time.
I work
I wouldn't-
downtown and I don't even have a clue.
Yeah,
Where would you go?
yeah. Where
I
would you go?
don't. I don't even leave the building.
You don't go out to eat or nothing down there?
No, I bring my lunch.
Oh, okay.
I don't do anything.
There's some good place to eat down there.
There's some
So,
great places
yeah.
to eat down there. Not for you.
Not for me.
There's a spaghetti place called Red Gravy. It's fantastic.
What's it called?
Red Gravy. So you never been there?
No.
Oh, it's been there for a long time. I thought for sure you'd been there.
Red Gravy?
Red Gravy.
Oh, Red Gravy. Oh. Oh. No.
Oh,
Maybe
okay.
I've seen it because I have gone to the Chipotle.
It's right there. Yeah.
Then okay. I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
it.
yeah. It's right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Which Chipotle is this? Is this the one?
It's on Take Home.
That's right.
Yeah.
I would have never come up with that answer. I don't even know the street. I don't know the streets that I work on.
It's where all the homeless live. Yeah.
It doesn't look that bad when I go during
That's
the day.
because we done clean maps.
Oh.
Jeff and I were talking about that the other night.
Just pressure wash them away.
Wow, that's. I think he found the middle ground between our suggestions.
That's
yeah.
much better than the incinerator.
Yeah.
that's
Because
much
that
work
was-
you make.
yeah.
Pressure wash.
Which.
This one's not coming off, man.
Yeah, because I think the suggestions were like house and feed them or incinerate them, and I think Will found kind of.
Yeah, I think we were being.
Well, the
Well,
guys
we
from
were,
work
we were
were-
jumping to conclusions there.
The guys from work were the ones that said, you know, you have to be off the streets or you're donating organs.
Wait, what?
Yeah. You're not off the. If you're homeless for too long, then your organs are up for
Oh, jeez.
for donation. So
I don't think I'd want a meth-laced kidney. So,
well, just if that thought is in your head, then maybe you're like, I need to get a place to live.
yeah. Well, it's not a question of, like, they can't, like, I mean, so Jeff and I talked about this a few weeks ago. I've actually done a little bit more looking into it. It's like 80% of them are either hooked on something
Yeah.
or suffer from severe mental disorders or
Or
both.
both.
And so there's like no place to put them. So you can't like make people go into a sanitarium anymore like you used to be able to.
Right.
You know, and then you can't force them to go to a shelter. You can criminalize everything they do, but they can't pay, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
So, you know, and then like all the shelters, at least the ones around here, there's more beds than there are homeless in the town. So transit or like they call them it's not homeless, it's
Transients.
no, it's something like house unhoused now is the thing.
Displaced.
Yeah, well, there's the people who are sleeping
Oh.
rough. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
called unhoused, which is different than homeless, I guess. I don't know.
Hmm.
So, but
Sleeping rough. That's such a British term.
it is, but
Yeah.
it's descriptive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but then like here, yeah, if you go into any of the shelters, you got to be clean.
Yeah.
And no, they can't stay clean, and you can't bring your pets. And so they tell me, I was like, I gotta give up my fucking dog, and they gotta take it to a humane society. And in this town, our humane society is a little bloodthirsty.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
They are.
Yeah.
They are. This one actually had a second chance.
Yeah, that's good. So yeah,
She got moved from a place in Vegas, I think.
they're doing
To
that
here.
now, where they ship. They kind of like look for communities that
Pet short.
are pet short, and then they'll send a lot of pets there, and they kind of like do these like exchanges. And so it's like, well, I got 5 black cats. We're not gonna get rid of all 5 of them. So you got 1. So yeah, we're gonna send you.
Yeah,
2.
that's true.
You
That would
guys
be,
send us a couple of these, and hopefully we'll get everybody adopted.
actually, that makes sense to do a little bit of swapping to say like,
Yeah, but they're all local, man. There's no
Yeah.
like National Humane Society, and so it's basically, do you get along with your neighbors? So yeah.
and I know that they have individual ones for like individual breeds. So they have like the
Oh,
Beagle
really?
Rescue.
Yeah, there are.
Um,
Yeah, but they're not
those-
gonna
I don't
they're not
think
gonna be
those are
government funded.
Those
yeah,
aren't humane
they're
society
private.
type things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna be nonprofits. So that's where we got our 2 cats. Was from a no-kill shelter. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, they always said, "Hey, man, if you can't take care of your cats, bring back." I was like, "That's nice." So I'm gonna give you money. Yeah,
Yeah, the fact that I got Winnie from the Humane Society is
That's amazing.
insane.
yeah.
Was it? Am I wrong? Was there like some other arrangement or something where like they told you to go get this dog or something, or I can't remember.
We went there and we found her, but we had tickets for a movie. And so I was like, hey, can we leave her here until the movie's done? And they're like, if she's still here when you get back. And it's like, all right, movie's canceled.
We'll go another day.
We're
Yeah.
bringing home the dog. So, but yeah, no, we just showed up and she's super cool. So,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, they wouldn't keep her because they were moving to a place that wouldn't allow pets.
Oh, yeah.
It's so weird because I know in my mind I'm like, well, I guess I have to move somewhere else.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
exactly,
find-
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find
Yeah.
a different place. There's options. I would assume. So
I don't know where. I'm not here to make judgment calls. Just in the terms of like, I think cosmically Winnie ended up exactly where she was supposed to be.
yeah,
That's not to say anything for a previous owner because her previous owner must have been super nice too. Because
definitely better than your dog's previous owner by a light year.
in the sense that your dog's skull is still the correct shape. Yes, I agree. You looked at that roadmap of scars she has over her body. Yeah, I totally understand. I know that she's bizarre at some times, but I'm also willing to tolerate some of the bizarreness on grounds of like, what the fuck did they do to you?
It's better not to know the
Yeah, it's better
story.
I suppose, but yeah, it's
Although if she wrote her book, it'd be pretty good read.
nah, because she's kind of dumb. Like, I mean, I think
It'd be see me run, see me get hit, watch him drink.
she has moments of brilliance, and then there are just the times where you see that she is just the most uncoordinated, like totally lacking in any poise or grace animal, right? But also there's a certain thing where I'm well aware that at this point the semi-permeable membrane between our 2 souls has sort of like
Yeah.
degraded over time. We're just kind of part of the same entity in some ways, which is why I know that like when you were staying here because of the overnight shifts that you were doing, right? You saw that like I go downstairs,
Oh yeah.
2 minutes later she's like, all right, I'm going downstairs, and what she's gonna do is she's gonna find a spot on my body and she's gonna lock in like a Tetris piece, and that's just how it's going to be, you know.
Yeah, Winnie does a lot the same, but will not snuggle.
Well, I think with her,
She's hot.
I just say like that has a lot to do with temperature.
Yeah.
She is a floofy dog.
Yeah. shedding's all done, so it's all good.
Yeah. And your cats are kind of weird too. Like one is way more affectionate than the other. Yeah.
They're both assholes. Yeah, they don't like to be picked up. They don't like to be held. They don't like to be brushed. Yeah, they like to be scratched. That's about it. So, but not for too long, otherwise you get bit.
Right.
So yeah, they're kind of
My girlfriend's cat,
surly.
if you start scratching, it'll look like it likes it, and then just flip over and just start.
Does it have claws?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nope, I'm done petting. I don't,
Yeah, no,
I'm not gonna
don't
wait
bit.
through that. I don't care if this is a fun game for you or not. That's my flesh.
Like when you're doing it, do you get the purring and everything too?
I've gotten the purring if the cat chooses to come up and like sit with me. But
Okay.
if I see it on the floor and I start petting, I haven't got the purr. I get the arch back like it's,
Yeah, you're gonna get
liking
bit.
it.
Yeah, no,
and then it just flips
Yeah.
over and is like claw, and I'm like, no, that's not. No, that's no part of this is anything cool for me. So I'm like, no, I'm done. Bye.
You come see me when you want to come see me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But that's the nature of the cat, right?
that's how all cats
yeah.
work. Yeah, every cat that I've ever had was like that.
That's not true.
No, they're all like, if they want to hang out with you, they'll come hang out with you. If they don't, either they'll do that, or you won't be able to find them. So yeah,
You also had the nicest cat on the
I
planet.
did have the nicest cat on the planet, but she had spots in our house that were hers. That were like, no, I don't want to fuck that. Leave me alone. And so,
Really? She
Oh,
actually
yeah.
avoided. Oh, okay.
Every cat's got some
Oh.
of those. Yeah. So my current ones have figured out that if they get up on above my cabinets, we can't reach them. So they'll just camp out up there.
You
So
know, that's
like
a good
fucking
place for 'em,
gargoyles
yeah.
looking down at you.
That's a good place for
Yeah.
them.
That's where her cat's gonna go. Because they can hop up onto our like. You have the counter there to your fridge, and
Yeah.
she'll be like doink doink doink. I'm like ah. So yeah, I can see that totally coming. But up there, it's gross. I don't know. I cooked. I don't know if it's just because I cooked too much bacon, or something.
Where's
but
this going?
It's like because I had like old pots that were up there.
Oh,
And I
yeah,
went, and, like I took
yeah,
it down to like
yeah.
get rid of them, and I was like,
They're all
dude, it's not even.
greasy.
Yeah, it's not even
Yeah,
dust. It's
it's-
this
no.
gross. I was like,
No, it is
Oh.
dust, but it's that
Mixed
slime
with
with dust,
grease.
with oil, with something.
oh, it's nasty.
Well, here's the question: did you actually get on there and scrub them completely clean, or did you just pitch them?
I cleaned them and then donated them.
Oh, your pots?
Well,
Oh.
whatever the things were up there. Because there was like stuff mom gave, like that were cookie jars that nobody ever wanted, but she just left them with us. And I just said, "Hey, on top of the cabinets, it looks fine."
The jar, man, like they come in packages. That's in fact, they have this really nice like resealable thing where you pop it open and then it comes back over. You don't have to actually like deal with the old like Chips Ahoy, rewrap it thing.
Well, Chips Ahoy is now.
Yeah, they,
Or
they
not
don't
the-
work like that anymore.
Yeah.
They got a lid. That,
Yep, you just
Yeah,
seal
that's
the
what I'm
top
saying.
and-
Yeah. Oreos famously
Oreos
has
do it
the three lines that
I did not know that at first, or whenever they made the transition, or maybe like years after they made the
it's
transition.
been like that a while.
I just tore open the thing and just pulled it out like I always did before.
what from the end?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
and
Because they used to come in a paper.
Yeah, they had the twist tie on.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
and I think my ex was just like, "What are you
What's
doing?"
wrong with you?
And I was like, "What?" She's like, "There's literally a thing that says."
Lift.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, well, what do you know?" I was like, "Wow, that thing really worked." Yeah, no shit.
It's like my daughter right now. She's in this cutting phase, so she's got to use the scissors to open everything. So like the chips, so rather than pull it open, so
Really?
you have the thing you can roll up. She just slices it off, and then so it's like this bag, and the chips are right there. I was like, "Are you gonna eat that?" So the same thing's true with the Oreos. So because we get them at the Costco, and they come in the tubes, So and you just open the tube, and you can roll it, twist it up, so they stay fresh. Nope, got to slice that right off. So I don't know what it
Oh,
is, man. So she's just
are you gonna hide the scissors?
No, man. She needs them for school and stuff, So I mean, I trust her with
Use them
Sears.
with-
She does a lot of artsy crafty stuff.
does she?
Yeah.
I remember. So I can't tell you when the fridge pack became the norm for sodas. But it's
Oh yeah.
yeah, but it's been around a while. But I remember that the old 12 packs were 3x4, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it was the 3x4
and you even
On
had a
the
little
rings?
handle that you could pick up 12 packs.
Oh, I don't remember.
versus
that.
when it became 2
2
by
by 2.
2x6.
2 by yeah,
Right.
well, yeah.
So I remember when
There's
the
24 cans in this. Isn't there? I think there's 18 or 20.
in a fridge pack.
Yeah.
No, it's 12s.
Oh,
They're 12 packs.
ones that are like this big?
Well, no,
yours
no.
are
No, I
going.
mean whatever they are.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's
It's only
12 pack.
12 in there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Why the 24 pack is a brick.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
your
that's like a
hospital.
case of beer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
yeah, it's a suitcase.
Yeah, it's a briefcase.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, so when I would get the 12 packs, right, the easiest thing for me was I'd take the handle, right, because they're gonna be in a weird order anyway, and I'm just gonna put them in the fridge anyway. So I just take the handle and just like pull back and open it up that way, right? And like the fridge packs, I'm like, okay, well, so the order's different, but whatever, right? So I remember I was at a friend's house. He's like, "Yeah, can you open that up?" And because you put it in the fridge, and I was like, "Yeah, no problem." So just like grab the handle and tore it off. He's looking at me. He's like, "I'm a fucking animal." It's like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" It's like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "So you see this part where it says push in, open, and now it's a convenient case for your fridge? That's what I was going to do, right?" Instead, I was just like, I tore them all up. And I was
All
like,
these
"What do
cute perforated lines.
Oh yeah, yeah. You pull one out and it actually like falls into place. Yeah, it's like a dispenser now,
Yeah.
like a Dixie cup dispenser. Yeah. And it's, oh, you know what? I didn't even notice.
I never use those things because that bottom lip that's supposed to hold your sodas in always comes undone after like a couple days.
Really?
Mine do.
Mine hold fine.
No, so no, I'm like you, man. I just rip it
I
off.
just get it open.
And I put them up standing up and just shove it in there, man. So-
Well, on top of that, yeah, too. I come from the weird, school of, well, these don't go in the fridge.
oh,
Like-
what soda?
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
it's like
no,
these
no,
just
no,
go in the
soda.
garage.
No,
And-
it's fine during winter.
It's
Well,
fine during summer.
I know,
Yeah,
there
I-
is no
man,
way.
I fucking hate warm soda so much.
Gross.
It makes me so angry.
Oh, it is. It's like drinking warm water.
I don't have a problem. Yeah.
Oh,
That's horrifying.
Guys.
hot summer day, you're like, oh, toss me a warm one. No, that is
No,
not
it's
in
just-
any commercial ever.
Like you do what the TV tells you every time?
A lot. I am.
All right, well-
I am your consumer
Okay,
of
that-
America.
That argument went nowhere. I'm sorry. That was pointless.
This is often.
No.
Maybe not 100%, but 90. Yeah.
No, I got you. Yeah, so I just always just keep them in the garage anyway. So
And your fridge has so much room.
Yeah, your fridge is huge.
I don't want cold. The only thing I want in there that's cold is milk, and even that I don't mind drinking it warm.
Oh, that makes me sick. So, yeah, you feel it curling your stomach.
Yeah.
Man. It's
No.
awful. So no, like
No.
everything is refrigerated in my house. I fucking put my peanut butter in there, man. So,
But that doesn't spread well. Then.
No.
oh, but I like it that way. So it's great on Ritz. So I don't do peanut butter.
okay.
I mean, I don't think I've had bread in my house for a year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Huh. Yeah. Okay. What about your butter?
My butter, so it stays out, but we go through it pretty fast. So, because I got a little butter dish, so
Right.
yeah, I mean, I use it for cooking like daily,
Oh, okay.
almost daily. So, I don't mind if that's at room temperature. My mother-in-law will leave it out for months.
Well,
like
mine's
that.
in my fridge,
Yeah.
but I have the spreadable butter too.
Oh, do you have the spray?
No. No.
Dude, I went looking for because I was
I can't believe it's not butter.
no, because we didn't use that crap. I have What I was looking for was the squeezable parquet.
Oh my god.
Wow, yeah.
Was it parquet?
Yeah, they used to put on a corner on the cob.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I went looking for that. That shit is not to be found.
Oh.
And you know what? I'm pretty sure that's for the best.
It was
It was basically Crisco, you know. So.
Well, I mean, no, because Crisco
I've
becomes solid.
I have not
Right,
seen one of
yeah,
those
that's true.
lawsuits that said, "Did you enjoy the spread of the butter that
Right,
squirts out of the
right,
bottle?"
Right, exactly, yeah, yeah.
You too could be part of this multi-billion-dollar lawsuit.
Yeah, and they're just discussing like the symptoms. Like, do you see that your heart is actually beating through your shoulder? You know,
Do you
that's just
sweat for no reason. Does it
regardless
feel
of the temperature.
different?
Is it thick?
Do you feel like you could spread that on your butter, on your toast? Yeah, you're part of this lawsuit. Come on in.
Because I was looking for it. Because I was thinking of well, that was a prime ingredient in my mother's meatloaf. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She would actually that
Oh,
would be
yeah.
the final thing is
Yeah.
she would coat it. She would basically squirt it and then basically give it a rub down. And so I was like, maybe I'm never gonna fuck with that meatloaf thing. But that stuff is not to be found.
I don't think you could find that recipe.
There was no recipe. It was born and died with her. There's no traditional meatloaf recipe I've seen that actually uses her ingredients. Because I've never seen one that's like, all right, so step one, the whole box of club crackers. Like, all right.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
It's absolutely great. This is Mom's meatloaf is
It
not
was
to be
solid.
fucked with.
Like, it was
Yeah.
juicy but solid. It wasn't the
Yep.
stuff that just like crumbles when you try and cut slices.
Nope.
It's just like,
It was not heavily reliant on baking like a layer of ketchup on top.
No, I don't do that either.
I didn't know that existed, but I do like that.
It is good.
I don't mind it. No,
Yeah, it's
it was way different. I'm like, the hell's this?
You do.
So I don't want it with the ketchup if I'm put gravy on it.
That's
so
exactly
I'm
it,
almost
yes.
always a gravy
Hey,
guy.
thank you.
So
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
if I want ketchup on my meatloaf, that's another thing I put in my fridge is my ketchup because I love cold ketchup.
I put my
I do
ketchup
too.
in the
Yeah.
fridge.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
put cold ketchup on
Are
hot
you not
meatloaf.
supposed
It's
to?
fucking
Is
amazing.
that weird?
Well, I mean,
I don't think you
people
have to.
leave it out in the restaurant the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh no shit.
Well,
Oh,
the
no,
same thing's
right.
true with mustard. You don't
Yeah.
have to refrigerate that. In fact, mustard is like one of the few things that theoretically never goes bad. So, like that and honey. Honey's the other one.
Oh,
Never goes-
okay.
Really?
It doesn't
It'll
go
go
bad.
crystallize.
Yeah,
get
it'll
eaten.
change.
Yeah, you just microwave it.
Well, it's something
So-
could
Oh
eat
really?
it.
Yeah, you just
Huh.
low heat microwave it.
Oh,
Yeah, it'll melt.
I just like chipped at it.
Yeah,
I was like,
heat is better here, Jeffrey.
You're right.
Yeah.
I should have asked a scientist, but I was just kind of like, oh, well, it's taking on a new form.
But it's one of those things. If you leave honey outside, it's going to get eaten.
It's gonna definitely get.
I don't know what happens if you just leave a dollop of mustard outside.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I never tried it.
You
We
know,
got
like-
raccoons in my neighborhood.
You know, like a
so-
McDonald's fry. Like,
Oh.
the animals don't even eat it. It'll just
You know-
sit there.
That's true. I guess I
No,
didn't
I've
notice that.
seen animals.
I've seen it sit in my driveway because I let it sit there. And I
This
have.
thing
and-
would take care of it.
All right, you're right. My dog would eat it.
Yeah.
That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
That's
What are
because
you
they know
talking
they
about?
identify this as people food. So
right.
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, right.
I've already
Raccoons
given
are
it
like,
this.
well, no, they're experts in people food.
Yeah,
too,
that's true, yeah.
but
They-
yeah, like local squirrel be like, gross, man. This is...
Well, even the pigeons wouldn't eat it. And they're just rats.
they are rats.
They're disgusting.
Flying rats.
Well, they are, but their form and shape totally disguises their disgusting nature.
You mean people will be like, "Oh, I'll feed the pigeon," whereas
They're
people see a
gorgeous-looking
rat
animals.
come up
No,
to you and you're
yeah.
like,
Raccoons are the same way, man.
Oh, raccoons are just the
Baby
coolest looking
raccoons
animals.
are so
Yeah.
cute. But yeah, they're
Well, the
fucking
big
mean.
fat ones too. They're cute too, but
Yeah,
and they almost have,
they almost
Opposable
have,
thumbs.
Yeah, they almost,
Almost.
have fingers,
But not quite.
Yeah, I've seen people keep raccoons as pets. It's weird.
I've seen people keep foxes as pets.
I've seen people raise foxes. So
Yeah.
yeah. That's not. Yeah, actually, I've only seen one person do that. So, but that was a long time ago too.
Somebody at work showed me a link of this Russian family that has a bear, like a
Yeah.
full-grown bear,
Yeah.
and it like sits at their dinner table. Will like
Yep.
sit on their couch and watch TV with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like, what the hell, dude? And it'll like, it came out and like wants to help like wash the dishes. It'll grab like a watering can and like carry it to the plants and like water. I'm like, what the
Sounds
heck?
like clickbait.
And like only in Russian. Like I sent the link and I was like, what the hell? And I looked and I was like, Russian, huh? And I was like, really?
Yeah.
All right,
That's what you guys do
gotcha.
instead of TV. Got it.
No, man, there's this, like, I think my favorite story of this is there's this, I don't remember which South American country it is, but there's this dog that just lives out there at the school, right? And so there's this little, kind of like we had in elementary school and middle school, all these places. Like, outside, they'd have this little, like, stand where, the places where you used to buy, like, cookie dough. And,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And so they have this little place.
Back when you could still do that.
Well, now they have cookie dough without eggs.
What? That sounds dumb.
Almost all of them.
Ugh,
Yeah.
gross.
All the pre-made stuff is all made without eggs now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because they know kids are going to eat it.
Well, yeah.
Well,
So-
adults too. But,
Oh,
this
Ate
is-
shit out of my
yeah.
cookie dough. So,
Yeah, so there's this dog that just lives out there. And the kids like him. He's super friendly. And what he'd notice is that the kids would walk over to the stand and they would take this paper and hand it to the people and they get like a cookie back, right? So eventually the dog just didn't like beg. What he would do is he would go out there in the yard and he would find a big green leaf and he would take it over to the people at the stand, right? And so they're like, look at what he's doing. And so they'll take the leaf and they'll give him a cookie.
Oh, that's
And that is adorable. I'm like, that's great. They're like, and now, of course,
you
I'm-
just go like, only one a day, though.
yeah, they say they have limits on this.
This
And
dog is just like,
oh, and
just
dude,
rolling around.
dogs have no self-control, man. So if like it's like, okay, well, give me my leaf back, or no, I'll find you another one, right? That dog could sit there and eat like 36 cookies
Oh,
in a row
yeah.
and not have
Oh,
a
yeah.
problem,
Yeah.
right? I can do that.
yeah.
Yeah. The other thing I was looking for, and I guess it's just not in the season. So I was like, I don't want to order these off Amazon, but I'm just looking in that aisle. I'm like, when do the Royal Dance cookies come out?
Soon. Yeah.
I don't know what these.
That's the blue tin, the circle,
The purple tin.
the purple tin. with
Some of the
butter
cookies
in
look
it.
like pretzels.
Pretzels, squares, spirals. You'd recognize. I know you've seen them. So
I've never gotten it, so
they're traditionally Christmas cookies. So
Well,
they'll be out soon.
they just threw up all the Halloween stuff everywhere. So
Yes, when that shit comes down.
yeah,
Yeah. You'll have the I bought a mega one years ago. It
November
was like a
1.
fucking depth charge, man. I mean, it took me so long to chew through them too, man. So
She's just one man.
I did. Yeah, well, now my daughter was trying to help me, but
Oh,
you
was
know,
she?
she
Okay.
identified her distaste of coconut along with mine at the same time.
Well,
So-
okay, because there's one of them that's useless to you then.
There's and there are a lot of those in there, man. So
Which ones are the ones that are coconut? Which,
I don't know.
which
They're one of
shape?
the squares.
do they keep
so-
them partitioned or is it just
No,
one
you
hot
have to
fudge
know
pile?
which one.
Well, if you get the smaller ones, right? They're all in these.
Like
it would be like
paper wrapper
cupcake
thing?
wrappers. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
They stack like 5 of them in a cup.
Okay, so they are separated.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, no, and the big one was like that too. And so, I mean, you get this huge thing that's full of like 150 fucking cookies, and then all this trash in there too.
So many cookies.
I don't detest coconut the same way you do. I don't love it, but I'll
do.
eat those.
I don't like it in my cookies, man.
I don't know. It's gross.
I know when those look to me. It always seemed like the circles went first, the pretzels went second, and then one of the squares was way better than the other square.
Well, the one without coconut. Yeah.
Now, is it one where you can see the coconut on top, or the
Yeah.
the coconut's covered in chocolate?
No, it's got little
White
bits
things.
in it. Yeah.
Okay.
You can
Goodies.
tell which ones
Yeah.
they are. Yeah, it's the little flakes in there of coconut. And I don't know. Sometimes I would just eat one of those just to like spread out the other ones. So It's fine. I'll take a bullet for the team. Let's, have one more cookie.
Yeah, I like those. But yeah, they weren't on
I
sale.
thought they were sold year round. So
I just so that was the thing is I'd only look for them at like Safeway. That's where I go shopping.
Oh, okay.
Right. Now I got on Amazon and like yes, you can get.
yeah,
them,
sure, yeah.
Right. But I don't want to be the dude that's forcing the issue. It's
It'll come to you, Jeff.
Yeah,
it'll,
that's what I'm
it'll
saying,
come to
is
you
I don't
when you're
wanna-
ready. Yeah.
I want to play the game. I don't want to change it.
You can get it with your eggnog.
I don't drink that.
I
Stuff.
don't drink this.
I've never had it.
I don't hate the taste of it.
It is unique.
It's just I don't know how to describe
Everything
it.
you've described before in the past. Just
Well, it's just super sweet.
yeah.
It's
And I
so
like
sweet.
super
It's
sweet.
very sweet. It's very viscous. So it's
Yeah,
thick.
I don't want to drink motor oil.
It's
just
very
happens
much
to be
so like
sweet.
it's like white and sweet motor oil. Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, so I'd put it at what, like 10W20, 10W30. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little bit above lawnmower grade.
Yeah, it's two stroke.
It's two stroke, yeah.
No, it's something that I understand why you cut it with bourbon,
Yeah.
right? That actually makes sense. But to drink that shit straight, it's like people used to drink squirt right out of the can, right?
Squirt was okay.
Yeah. It's kind of sharp. So
That's a mixing drink, man. That is like if you go to the store and you're like, I'm not gonna squeeze lemons, but I'm gonna buy that little plastic lemon that you squeeze, right? That's what squirt tastes like to me. Yes, and you can cut that with a tropical drink. But to drink that shit straight,
I used to like it on ice. I mean, yeah, I kind of
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
Like
Something
just
that-
straight, it was kind of sharp, but
something that yeah, just kind of
Yeah.
the same thing with like Scotch on ice. Something that melts or dulls it down just a little bit,
I don't
thins it
think
out.
I've ever mixed Scotch with anything.
Ice, yeah.
Well, ice, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
I've put a little bit of water in it.
we're yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I grew out of Scotch, man. So I don't like it.
I like it fine. I
Do
just
you?
don't really
Yeah.
drink. Yeah, a couple of, I Irished up some of my coffees, but that's about it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I remember when I was younger, I used to love Scotch, mostly because my wife liked it.
Yeah.
After a few years, I was like, this is gross, man. I've had some really gross scotches. over
Well,
the
that's
years.
part of it too, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like, okay, so bourbon is bourbon. It's really hard to fuck up bourbon. And, like, you can go different brands. Okay, you can find ones that have slightly different taste or whatnot.
Sure.
But they're never, they're not coloring way out of the lines. So these scotch. I've had some scotches like, this is made out of bark, man. This is gross. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've had others where it was like, oh, this is really peaty. Man, I keep that motherfucker over there because I can smell it from here.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Gotcha.
No, I totally understand. Look, there's a flavor to it. You're like, this is just soil.
Yeah, it's just dirt.
Oh, this is-
Well, the same with dark chocolate. You pointed that out
Oh,
years
that's
ago.
no.
It's fucking
No,
absolutely
no, no,
horrifying.
that's-
dirt chocolate.
It is.
It is. It is. It is fucking like that percent cacao is basically the same thing as the Scoville unit, right? Where people, once you get to a certain point, it's like you can't possibly enjoy this. You
Yeah,
are
no.
just trying to show off.
Yeah, it's not possible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen how they make chocolate? Pull it out of the beans and stuff.
No.
It's disgusting.
I was gonna say, is this something like hot dogs that I don't want to know? Or is this...
Yeah, it may be. So, but actually, the actual cocoa like bean thing.
Yeah.
It's like when they crack those things open, it just looks like guts in there, and it's like all white. It's weird,
Okay.
man. Yeah, it's weird. So you have to roast it and smash it and roast it and do all this crazy stuff. I mean, I don't know how the fuck someone took a look at this and said this would make great candy bars someday. I don't know, man.
You know what's missing? This white goo.
Yeah, so I mean, I didn't know that either. I thought it was like basically like coffee beans. You pick them off, burn them, and then there you go, you're good. So no, it's this entire involving process. And I clicked on the video because I was like, that's bullshit. That's not chocolate. Fucking idiots. And then halfway through, I was like, what? was like, I'm gonna have to go verify this. It's like, oh, gross.
You look it up from 2 different sources.
Had
Like,
to
all right.
triangulate my sources there, man, just in case.
No, I understand. No, it's the same thing. It's I wonder sometimes, especially like with pomegranates,
Right.
when the first person found this and it's like, so what's the market for this? It's like, well, it's for a guy that wants a million of a tiny little things that he has to spit the seeds out of each one.
Yeah.
You're dying,
Right.
and this is how you prolong your food.
That's it. That's the closest thing I can give you. But
Trapped on an island, and he's like, you know what? This ain't the worst.
it's food.
Food.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's
tasty.
food.
It's gonna it will stain everything you own,
That's the other thing about it. Yeah.
Mm.
and it's tiny. And yeah, like I said, you gotta spit out seed every single time. Yeah, it is a pain in the butt. I've only eaten it once. Mom got it. I don't know how many times she got it, but I only ate it.
She
once.
got it a couple of times, but yeah, it's
I was like, they're fine. All right, I'm tired of doing this.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. I mean,
exactly,
the
yeah.
only other thing I can think of is like, much like the guys with Copenhagen, are you just supposed to just like chow down and swallow these, or
Well, that you get addicted to.
there were guys?
There are
that-
guys who swallow their cope.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So I'd
Yeah.
hate to be the guy who has to cut those dudes open someday. So
Dude, to release that stuff on fucking rigged toilets. I mean,
oh my god, yeah.
I asked Zach, I'm like, doesn't it hurt really bad to go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
It's like, no. But that's all he said. I was like, no.
Maybe the first time, but once your body gets used to it, it's just,
Ugh.
Dude, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's like, bro, there's fiberglass.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
What are you doing? But yeah, maybe you're just supposed to like chow down on pomegranate seeds. I don't think there's a harm in eating watermelon seeds, yeah?
no, everyone eats some.
Yeah. I
Like
don't
if
think
you
so.
just said forget about it and just like, I'm not gonna spit any of these, I'm just gonna
No, I don't think so.
okay.
There-
Okay.
Well, you never know. I mean, that's how you get, what is it? Diverticulitis. So
What's that?
that's that thing where like stuff gets lodged in your gut and just stays there.
Oh.
Yeah, that's when you get like, I mean, you guys know more about anatomy, but have you seen some of the ones where it looks like somebody's intestines got all these fingies? That's diverticulitis, and that happens when you eat shit like that. So, I mean, you have to do it a lot. So,
Does that include peanut shells?
yeah, probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
That is not meant to go down the track.
I
I've seen
it's
plenty
such
of cats pass
fiber.
those. Yeah, I don't know,
Well,
man.
yeah, it's gonna pass almost all the time, but you get one that just happens to lock in, and then everything just starts growing off of it.
But no, okay.
Well,
I
it
got-
doesn't make a tree in there, man.
It kind of does. I mean, because then other stuff will grow and catch on it, and then so it's like the giant grease worm things in the sewer pipes. It just takes one little hiccup there
Oh, I
for
see.
other
Oh,
stuff
okay.
to catch
I was
on.
gonna
and
say,
then-
right, I was like-
all right.
It's
what
not
is-
planting roots and being like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
exactly.
I'm coming, baby."
I was like, what is this creature? I was like,
Yeah, no, I was talking about fat birds. Yeah. So,
no, but yeah, I mean, it's the same thing. You have things that are literally undigestible. That's what fiber
Sure.
is.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm sure if you eat it when it's all ground up and smooth, yeah, it's no problem. Once you throw in stuff that's got like pointy chunks and stuff, yeah, it just takes one to just hook in, and now you got your little finger flappy things that are
You're talking about the like the microvilli, yeah?
yeah.
yeah.
But wouldn't enough fiber just dislodge that anyway?
I'm sure it does most of the time, but it just takes one to really set, and then you got your fatberg thing, whatever.
Stop calling it that.
Gonna get rotoed out now, man. Yeah.
And then, yeah, they go in with the snake and just
In your stomach?
Yeah, the drain snake you. Yeah.
this is how it's done scientifically, just
Yeah.
so everyone knows.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So
Well, I've learned so much today.
I don't think any of it's true, man. I'd be very careful with it. Like any kind of advice. So it's like taking legal advice from townies.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, it's just kind of like, are you sure this is a thing? Are you sure this isn't some shit that your mom just told you and you
Right.
never Googled?
Right, yeah.
Well, I did watch something scientific. I
What?
actually watched Oppenheimer.
Oh,
Oh, what'd you think?
I did not know what they did to him afterwards, like how they drug his name down and all these
Yeah,
kind of stuff and all
yeah.
that thing. I was like, whoa.
I've only
But
read bits and pieces, but I never.
it was cool, like, and their cast was crazy. Like it had just people left and right.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. So they didn't actually show the bomb go off in Japan. I thought for
Right.
sure they would show that. And they didn't. I
It
was
was
like,
in Wolverine, wasn't it?
oh, yeah.
There you go.
But you'd think they'd always just want to show it just because, like, they want to show how cool it looks and stuff.
Well, I thought that was the point. I thought they deliberately wanted to avoid that from being an
Oh,
issue.
did they?
Yeah, because
They do a lot of belly aching about dropping the bomb.
No, actually.
Oh, that's
not,
good.
not
that's what I
much
understand.
at
Was
all.
that was
Yeah.
not what they wanted to address.
No,
Well,
they
I mean, he was kind of the guy who was famous for doing that. So afterwards, and
after because
Yeah.
he didn't want the H bomb.
he didn't want the H bomb to be developed. And then there's a famous instance where Harry Truman kicked him out of his office.
Yeah, they showed that.
Oh, okay. Oh, they did.
They
Oh, yeah, that's like the most boss thing ever. It's like, don't bring that shit back here.
Yeah, they actually did. He's like, make sure that pussy never comes back in.
Yeah.
I was like,
that he didn't drop the bomb. I did. Blood on
nobody
his
cares
hands.
about you.
Right. Right.
Yeah, so there was a whole lot of stuff I'd never seen or thought of or anything else, and so yeah, it was really good. Like, I was totally impressed.
Well, unfortunately,
Barbie whooped its ass.
Did it?
well, yeah.
Well,
Did it? I
of
haven't
course
looked at
it's
the
going
box
to.
office in a little bit.
No, it did. It did.
Oh yeah, it's
It
going
actually
to. It's
both-
placed to girls like and kids. So
Well, no, both movies actually did fine.
Yeah.
It's just
Oh,
that
yeah.
Barbie ended up like launching like crazy. No, it's just that unfortunately that whole thing about Oppenheimer brought out the worst and stupidest people when it comes to discussing the ethics and the stories regarding the atomic bomb and
on
its use.
Twitter.
Every social media platform, but
Okay.
Twitter especially, yeah.
The app formerly known as Twitter.
Right.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
What am I? X.
X.
X. That's right.
The everything app.
If there was a closed captioning, it would say head shaking.
Yeah.
No, well, it's not just head shaking. It would also have a sub caption on how the head shaking was done, so it would be shakes in disgust.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the things that are thrown around as fact at this point really get under my skin.
Oh, with the bomb?
Yeah, where the things is like they didn't need to do this. It's like
Yeah, they
this,
did.
it was like this was all a show of force to the Soviets,
Nope.
and the Soviets were going to end it anyway.
No.
Patrick, did they have the boats to do that?
They didn't have a single boat over there, Jeff.
That's because that was the thing. Like, how the fuck are you going to get to an island nation, let alone
swim?
right,
Right, yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
these are just things just thrown out as fact.
Russian tanks swim really well.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, no, man, I don't have any patience for that shit.
The fucking idiocy that's just thrown around is like,
crazy.
well, everybody knows this.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, like, except for, like, maybe the Japanese themselves, like, nobody's responsible for trying to whitewash what they actually did. So, more than that fucking lefty crowd that can't find anything nice to say about America ever. So,
Yeah.
it was like, yeah, I can't recall too many stories of American troops throwing babies up in the air and trying to catch them on bayonets. The Japanese did that. They thought it was fun. So, yeah.
Oh my god.
It's real.
A small opening of the list of horrors that comes from.
That's just a preview. Yeah.
Well, I mean, even in the movie at one point they go, well, if we had just told them we have this weapon, would they have quit? And they're like,
We
no.
did.
No. We kind of did.
No.
We sent that there's literature that says we have built this. This is what it will do. Leave and tell your government to surrender. Seriously, that's what the shit says.
But yeah, they had a part where they're deciding which cities to go, and they have 11, and like one of the bosses is like, we're gonna take Kyoto off there because
I've been there.
Because of the
Yeah.
cultural significance, and we had our honeymoon there.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, that was Simpson, right?
I
Secretary of
don't think
State.
they even said his name.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm familiar with the story. Yeah.
I was like, whoa, dude.
Yeah. Well, it was. It was the traditional seat of the emperor. So,
Hmm.
and then one of them, didn't they choose one of them just because the weather was shitty?
They didn't say
Okay.
the reason why they
I
chose.
feel like I've heard that before.
think I've
but I
heard
think
that
you're
story.
right.
There was one of them that was supposed to get blowed up, and it didn't. And they went to Nagasaki instead because the weather wasn't shitty there. I don't remember. Or maybe it was the other way around. Maybe it was the Hiroshima. I'm not sure.
I know what you. Yeah, I feel like I've heard part of that story, but I don't remember it. And this is, I mean, again, like the whole, the part of this that really got to me is like, well, why did it have to be unconditional surrender? Like, are you nuts? It's like,
Yeah.
can you imagine that we're in Germany and we say like, yeah, you can surrender, but Hitler, you can stay in power.
Yeah, you'll be under house arrest.
Right, right.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's like, are
no.
you nuts?
We
Yeah.
trust that you've seen the error in your ways.
Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, no, like
I
a
mean,
week
it's-
before that, I mean, even the emperor, like, I read a really good book about him, like, maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's way more responsible for the war than people think. So, but he's also the guy who was like, no, we fight to the end, yada, yada, yada. And then when they dropped the bombs, he's like, all right, we got to give it up. So, yeah.
Right.
The army still wanted to fight. So, even after that, they were like, well, if they blow up all our cities, then we'll just hide in the hills. And it was like, that's great. Yeah, boss.
Oh my god.
Yeah, was it you and I last week where it was like the single dumbest thing in warfare? What?
It's single. It's like, I don't know if it's the dumbest. It's definitely top 3 though. Yeah, attack the Americans, and they won't take it personal. They'll understand Japan's military. So they'll take the hint.
Okay, well, if it's top 3, what other blunders deserve some kind of some mention for?
There's almost like universal, a unanimous consent that the Germans choosing to back the Austrians in World War One was the stupidest idea that anybody ever did, because the entire war was avoidable. Because the Russians would have just come in, kicked the shit out of the Austrians, helped Serbia out, and it would have been over in weeks. So, but
Makes
no,
sense.
and then so you get World War One, which means that you get
World War II.
communism.
Yeah.
World War II, the bomb. They completely reconfigured the Middle East, so you can make an argument that led to 9/11.
Oh,
There's some good arguments, man. Yeah, it's just
especially-
basically like this one guy's fucking decision fucked up the entire 20th century.
You know, it's funny. It's I take that same thing. It's, you know what, you're right, because I was one step removed from that, because I go with all that, but I go with communism.
Communism is definitely pointed to as, yeah, because you have no Stalin, you have no Mao. So yeah, exactly. You have like
We have no Vietnam. We have
no Vietnam. So,
we have no Cuban Missile Crisis. We have no. I mean, this is the thing where I'm like, God,
you have no Holocaust. Come on,
you don't.
Yeah.
You don't. And you, when you talk about like, well, where'd all that money go? You have no 50 years of stockpiling fucking mountains and mountains of nuclear weapons.
We probably all have flying cars and live like George Jetson pushing buttons right now.
That's the theory.
That'd be kind of nice.
Either it would, or we would hate that life.
Right, we go with strike. Fuck this.
But would America have become the powerhouse that it did?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were already there.
Yeah.
Me too.
We've been there since
18.
yeah, like
something.
1883.
Well,
like,
yeah,
something like that.
It kind of flips in that time.
A
period
little
there.
bit, but
Yeah.
it's something that we flip over. It's like, as soon as like we hit #1 GDP status, and we're not getting rid of it anytime soon.
It's like pretty much after the Spanish-American War.
Yeah.
Everybody was like,
Yeah.
"Oh fuck, America's a thing." So you can also say that Woodrow Wilson was the stupidest president ever. So,
Why him? What particular when it comes
Because
to
Germany probably would have won that war a lot quicker. So if Woodrow Wilson hadn't been elected, or no, they would have lost the war a lot quicker, because I saw this on something a while back where they actually split down the electoral votes, And so this is the year that Teddy Roosevelt runs third party, okay, because the Republicans picked Taft. Basically, just to give him the middle finger. And he says, fuck you. I'm going to get my own party with my own hookers. And so he splits that whole vote, and Woodrow Wilson, who's like, oh, we can stay out of the war kind of thing. Where Teddy
Oh, the Bull
Roosevelt's
Moose,
like,
right?
fuck yeah, let's go fuck them all up.
Yeah, the Bull Moose party, right? Yeah.
So, yeah. And so you make an argument that him winning the election actually also led to all that shit. So, yeah. If you want to blame the Americans for that. I think the Kaiser's a little bit more responsible.
I'm gonna say, yeah. I think that's fair. I mean, don't people historically also like to point at Hitler's trek into the winter as being particularly
attacking Russia, yeah,
uninsightful?
Yeah, it was a bad idea, but it's a good thing he did it because that guy needed to lose. I've seen Man in the High Castle; it's bad. So I've seen Wolfenstein, man. So they get to the moon.
That's true.
Yeah.
They do build the new Colossus.
They do build the new Colossus.
Yeah.
Is that what the Man in the High Castle is? If
Yeah,
Hitler wins?
yeah. It's basically the Heisenberg built the bomb first, and they blow up Washington in 1946, and America surrenders. It's so bad.
Oh, it's
a TV series on Amazon.
yeah. I've seen it on there, but I haven't actually clicked on it to watch it.
Yeah.
I've heard people say it's genius.
Really? Why? I guess not
Not
you.
the
Yeah,
people.
not you.
Well, okay.
Dude, they make Canyon City the capital of like New America. So I don't think the writers have actually been to fucking Canyon City. So
Wow. Huh. Okay.
it's the unincorporated middle neutral land. So
Look, sometimes, I mean, all right. It's the same kind of thing where if you, and I know you've read a few of Stephen King's books, right?
oh yeah.
Okay, so you know that everything seems to take place in this small area of Maine,
Or
right?
Colorado, yeah.
Yeah, one of those two places. So maybe there was somebody from Canyon City
Yeah, maybe.
or something like that. It's weird to pick, a city like that out of a hat.
I just thought they did it on geography. They just looked at the map and say, okay, what's in the middle? There you go.
Well, fair enough.
I don't know, man.
Okay. No, that's it.
I don't know, but yeah, no, like some people liked it. I got a little bit into it, but then it was like, oh, you guys are making the Japanese and the good guys again. Uh-oh. So
No,
yeah.
you don't get to come back from that. It's like
So
you don't get to do like Unit 571 and be like,
that's fine. Yeah, that's all right.
all right.
So
Did it start out good? Like the premise was an interesting thing, and then it just started.
no, it didn't get.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of on the wrong foot with it anyway. So historical like what if fiction is like probably my least favorite form of fiction.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it really is.
Oh.
So I'd much rather read just a straight up good story. So even if it's in a fantasy land or if it's set far in the future or something like that, that's fine. So don't tell me like don't go back and tell me what happens if the South wins the Civil War. I don't give a shit because they didn't. So
Yeah, but that's tough because like you have been on the side of Inglorious Bastards, which is as what if as humanly possible.
it is, but it's so over the top. It's fine. It's not up its own ass. So
Well, to its credit, it doesn't deal with the repercussions of those incidents, afterwards. I found it stupid the first time I saw it. I'm like, what?
yeah. I think the more I watched that movie, the more I liked it, though, man.
Well,
So,
yeah, because
yeah.
on first watch, I'm like, fuck, this is so
Yeah.
stupid. Who do you think you are?
Killing Hitler.
Yeah, and it was like, did that happen? Am I awake?
Yeah.
No, but eventually I came to see it as the pieces that it is. Basically, I came to appreciate every performance within the movie
Oh yeah.
and separate myself from that. Like when it comes to like what if stuff, I'm okay with it if it's basically like Slider style. where
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If you're going to investigate the topic for 1 to 2 episodes,
yeah.
right, and then you're basically taking the incident that happened in it out of it and saying like, well, okay, so what happens if this bitch doesn't eat this fruit from this tree, right?
Okay.
And they just like, oh, well, the world goes to hell. All right, so we have to stop her from doing this.
Right.
Right. I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. It's Back to the Future formula. Actually, that's really
That's
what
okay.
it is.
Yeah.
Is you have to correct the little, the small error that makes your future shitty.
That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with is, hey, let's do a little what ifism here so that we can actually opine about what actually is now and how fucked up you all in America are. So I get tired of that.
Star Trek did that too.
Star Trek did that a little bit too. Yeah. So, but then, there's been a lot of shows out there that try and do that, or like what was the one with the I couldn't watch any of it because it was just horrifyingly bad. America in the future, and population's declining, and so guys rape a whole bunch of. It's the
Handmaid's Tale.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Handmaid's Tale. Did you watch all the way through that?
I watched 2 episodes.
Okay, you made it one more than I did.
That's Handmaid's
That's
Tale?
Handmaid's Tale. Yeah.
Oh, I just didn't like the lead character. So
I don't have anything against her. I just like 2 episodes and I'm like, this show is so far up its own ass.
Oh yeah.
That takes place in the future?
Not too far too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like in not too far future, and then of course like everybody else in the world is doing fine because people like fucking flee to Canada, so to get away from the hellscape that is now America.
Right.
And it's like, wait, what?
Whoa.
Yeah, and so
I thought this was like something taking place in the 1800s or something.
no,
That's the point.
Yeah,
of it,
that's the
is
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
it's
Wow.
so. I mean, I guess the closest thing I could say is like, from what I was getting, I was like, this is the Stepford Wives without the charm or satire.
right.
This is like serious. This is like, guys, this is a real deal.
This is
You
a
gotta
real
look
deal,
out
yeah.
for this.
Pay attention to this.
Whoa.
So there's misogyny everywhere. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it is. Again, it's the same shit where they're like, oh, this happens in America. It's like, in the one country that actually has all these things like guaranteed on a piece of paper,
Right.
like the one.
The one.
Like,
Yeah.
have you seen the totalitarian hellscape that is the UK right now?
Is it that bad?
Okay.
I think
So-
I'd go there before I went to China, man. So let's put this
Oh,
on a
come on.
perspective.
Well, yeah,
So,
that's
like,
not-
you called it a totalitarian hellscape. So
Okay.
I did not think you were going to say French, honestly.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I thought you were going right to China.
I did
This one, man,
too.
or North Korea.
No, man. Okay, so I would argue that there are more cameras per square inch in the UK than there are in China.
Okay.
Smaller country.
Smaller country.
Smaller country.
Okay, but they've taken that in a bizarrely leftist way, right? Where did you guys see the autistic kid that got arrested?
No.
No, in the UK.
Yes. Okay, so there's
Yeah,
an
that's
autistic.
why. No.
There's an autistic 16-year-old girl, right? And she tells a police officer that she has a lesbian haircut.
The girl does, or that the cop does.
The cop.
Okay.
The girl tells the cop that she does. Like 9 officers storm her house and drag her out and arrest her for using hate speech.
Okay.
I shit you not.
Well, what happens now?
Well, after the thing went nuts on fucking social media,
Right. Yeah. Obviously.
they
this is
ultimately
outrage.
dropped the charges.
Yeah. Okay.
But the fact that that's even something where it's like, you would even arrest somebody for this?
Yeah.
That's fucking absurd.
Okay, I didn't hear about that, but yeah, no, it's obvious.
Look into the
outrage.
incident, man.
Is
It's-
that common in the UK though, or is this like one fucking like police department that's basically off its rocker? So you don't all. It's not like that.
It's not company policy.
Yeah, this isn't company policy, is it?
when you're gonna have to look at basically
Alright.
like the hate speech laws in the UK, and those
I know
are
they're weird in Ireland, so
Ireland and Scotland is
yeah, Scotland's a lost cause.
yeah,
yeah.
give up on them, which is weird for the Scots.
There's not that many of them, man. So
No, no, but you guys have a history. You guys have a history. Like you guys have a rich and well-known history, right? Where it's like you guys have been in defiance of certain things. You're kind of like they're pulling your guts out, and you yell freedom. You know, it's
Didn't happen. But
like you're putting a guy in jail because you made your dog do a Nazi salute. I mean, come the fuck on. That's what I'm talking about. Like, and again, yeah, it's that's not here. And but
it's not here.
they always like to turn it on the United States as like, you guys are, so we actually have a freedom of information act.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I've heard that argument from a lot of Brits that everything that happens here today happens there tomorrow. So
Fair enough.
yeah,
I get
and
it.
so
I get
hopefully
it.
they'll be able to vote that shit out pretty soon. So
Depends. Yeah.
So I don't know. A couple people that I know one guy from England. He's going back. So and he's like, nope, going back, voting Tory. So
That's funny.
to be fair, he's north of the ice wall though. So there's this whole part of like Britain that is rabidly right wing, and he's from there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, basically, my understanding is it's either you live in one of the giant cities or you're right wing.
It's basically London,
Yeah.
or you're right wing. So
Yeah.
there's a few cities that are a little bit, you know.
Imagine the ones that you know, Birmingham. You know, just
There's one in particular. I can't remember which one it is. It's not Manchester.
you're probably thinking of Liverpool.
Yeah, it was Liverpool. Yeah, that's the one he was telling me about. He's like, you'll never go there.
And frankly, the way that I've seen UK people speak with such disdain about basically everywhere that they're not from is really quite amusing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's delightful.
I guess if you
Yeah.
want to be perpetually grouchy. So
That's part of their. That's been part of their culture for
It is their culture, Jeff.
2,000 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's what they say. Like, if you're from Norwich, it's like, give me 6.
All you do is grumble.
Yeah.
So that's what you do for a living. So
Well, and given the fact that I've had to transcribe what the fuckers are saying, I'm like, if you're from a certain area, I'm like, this thing I've marked like 12 inaudibles, and it's been 2 minutes.
I've met a few people from there that were very hard to understand. So they were usually very close to Scotland, though, where they were from.
Scottish can be rough. Scottish can be beautiful.
It can be horrifying. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I had my godmother was Scottish, and she had a beautiful accent.
Right.
So she was from a very specific town.
Right.
I think it was Glasgow. It wasn't the other one. Is it Edinburgh? Is the other big one?
County Cork's Ireland.
County Cork is Ireland.
I
think
Edinburgh.
I think it's Edinburgh. Yeah. So there's like two cities separated by what, like 40 miles. They can't fucking understand each other.
Oh my god!
No, I can't tell. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but one of their progenitors is like a wood chipper, and like that whole family tree just all comes from that. Like, fuck, what happened to you?
You guys, yeah.
And then if you're lucky enough, I mean, again, like, so if you come across the people from India that have that UK, you know,
Oh, it's delightful.
yeah. It's beautiful, right? And then there's the other Indians.
And then there's like a lot of the other ones that are very difficult to understand. Yeah.
Are those the ones that do tech support?
They can't. Yeah. I mean, do you watch those videos, the scammer bait ones? They're all based on guys out of India.
Yeah.
So they are. I mean, then some of them, it's like, I can't believe people are actually answering the phone and talking to you, man, because you gotta know. You gotta know. So, but then there's a few, and they just speak perfect English, and it's like, oh, you probably fooling me too, buddy. So yeah. I haven't gotten as many of those lately.
No, me neither. I think that they've come to the point where like ROI has to be so low.
Oh yeah.
Right. Your percentage is like, we've got everybody we're gonna get. Either that
The
or
market's saturated.
right. Either that
We
or
bought up all the suckers in the world.
finally, after
Maybe.
so much work on this, that the phone companies have finally been able to.
Yeah, hasn't that been the rumor for 20 years?
Dude, I was in the thick of it when that shit started going nuts. Like, I think it's no, it's not your brother calling. No, that's you because they're constantly people are like, they get that scam number and they call it back.
Yeah.
And so some poor dude in Duluth is just kind of like, why is this guy calling it? Because they're using a computer to generate a number because it passes the filter and it's like this. So I'm okay. I'm like, I don't know what information did you give them. It's like, can you help me with this? No, I cannot because like if he got you, like you have to contact the police department. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Nothing you can do. Yeah, it's not.
Yeah. Hopefully you didn't send him a briefcase full of money.
Did you?
I can't
Did
believe
you?
people actually did that. We still do it from time to time.
Well, look, the bottom line is that people need to know, like, the IRS doesn't want their money in prepaid cards.
Right, they don't want them in
They
Apple
don't.
Pay. You know?
Sorry, it's like, I feel bad for you, because anybody that gets scammed, I feel, like, shitty for.
Oh,
But, you know, sometimes when they're telling that story, it's like, you went and bought how many prepaid Visa cards, and... Like, I don't know. I feel like at some point, like, the person at Safeway has to ask you, it's like, sir, why do you need 25 of these?
yeah.
Or
They-
a friend, or
They do kind of watch out for those, you know. So I've seen stories on that where,
Do they now?
well, yeah, because the scams have evolved to the point in time. It's like, well, you need to go to multiple stores. Don't talk to the clerks. Okay, so you know, like there are like if you go to Walmart and say I need like $5,000 in Apple Pay cards or something, they won't do it.
Really?
So, yeah,
Okay.
they won't do
Alright.
it anymore. So you know, but still, especially if like you have an elderly customer, I don't know how you couldn't say something. You know. Yeah, but I mean, some of those guys who do the scam baiter ones are pretty good. Some are just goofy dudes, those silly guys, but there's a couple serious ones in there. Like they'll call, they'll try and get a hold of this person and try and bust through the line and things like that. And you know, hey man, this guy's scamming you, so get out of there. So you see them call the cops on them too, where they're like, hey, this lady's going to this Target. She's trying to get this. I'm an independent investigator. This is what I found out. I need you to go check on her if you can, you know, kind of thing. But you know, for every one of those you see, there's probably 1,000 that get through.
yeah.
So no, I've had to front run all that bullshit for my mom over the last 5 years. It sucked.
Oh, yeah.
It absolutely sucked. So I can't take her phone away, man. So I was like, what does this phone do? This one blows bubbles, Mom.
Is your mom, is she relegated to, like, grandpad style phones at this point?
No, she's fine.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
she actually sees fine, but
Oh,
she's
good
also-
for her.
Yeah, no, she got her eyes fixed like 10 years ago. She got the
Oh,
LASIK,
okay.
so-
Okay. Good on her.
which I'm probably gonna need. So,
I don't know. I'm thinking about it.
bro, my eyes are getting worse over the last year. Ever since I got these new glasses, they've been going downhill. So yeah, so I'm just noticing it, man.
Did you talk to the eye doctor?
I'm
about
going
it?
back to the eye doctor
Okay,
here
all right.
soon. So
Damn.
yeah,
It's less than a year.
it's been less than a year. So yeah,
Right. Wow.
It sucks.
it does, but it's fixable. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
One time
Yeah,
fix
it's
and you're
fixable.
done. Then
it might just be my glasses too. I might be past the point in time where I need progressives. So because I
I
can
don't
see
know how
this
that
just
works.
fine.
Yeah.
I can't see that shit over there. So that's kind of iffy.
Well,
whoa.
to be fair, all right, let me just say it this way. Yes, I can read that, okay, sort of. It's not, like, crystal clear, but I'm going to say, like, the dark on dark, you know, with tiny white lettering
yeah, it doesn't help.
is also something that is kind of
Yeah,
different.
but my brain is autofilling some of this shit. You
That
know?
is 100% crystal clear.
Yeah.
So, like, at work, I shrink the screen down.
Oh, fuck
it
off.
fits
Do that,
in
man.
there.
Oh,
I can read
God.
literally everything on there, and yeah, people come
My
up behind my
eyes.
shoulder and they'll be like, "What the hell?"
You
dude?"
see my fucking icons are like coasters, man.
Okay, so this is the other thing I will tell you about proprietary software and why it can go fuck itself. So, anything with Windows, generally speaking, if you say text font up 150%, whatever, no problem.
Yeah.
A lot of proprietary software that you use,
Oh.
Well, they not only have it set it up, okay, so certain menus will enlarge. Other ones won't. Basically, like if we went to that fucking Gordian knot of software that we used at Baker,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
I guarantee if you did that, half the programs would be like, no problem, right? And I guarantee you that the other half would be like, you're trying to enter in the numbers, but the fields are so fucked up so that if you go in there and you have to type in like 2 zeros, it'll show you 1,
Right.
right? Because the cursor is now off the screen, right? So it's either you take it on faith that you did it right, or you have to shrink it when you're using this, right? And then blow it up or things like this. It's like, this is ridiculous. That's when you can look at it and say, like, your software is dog shit.
I never zoomed in or out. Anything.
No, I didn't either. And I didn't need to at that time.
Okay.
Right?
I'm like, I have no idea what it would do. Huh.
No, nobody out there I saw was complaining about that kind of stuff. But now at this point, when I'm looking at text on text on text with different kinds of text, right? Some things that work great. There are some, look, this is a bitch that I have about Microsoft Word, right? When you adjust the font, it adjusts the font on the thing that you're looking at, but not the goddamn menus.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes. So if you're looking for certain words, right? If you're looking for certain words, if you're like, okay, no problem, I can see, you know, this is totally fine. I can see this across the room because the every letter is the size of a dime. But then when you go to when somebody changed the name from Montenegro to Montenegra, and you want to find and replace 196 versions, the text is this
it's tiny.
this small because it doesn't change in the menus.
Oh.
I think you can change that though. I think yeah.
Tell me.
I
if
think
you know,
if you go into the menu, there's like accessibility options.
been there.
Okay.
If you find it, okay.
I'll look because I think I did that.
I did that when I was button mashing. I never know how to get back to it. No.
You might have to change it on your desktop.
That's what I did.
Yeah, okay.
That's where it changes like the fonts of like certain spots.
Okay. I'll look.
But the individual things is like if you have it set up in a great way, I can tell you I've been researching it, but if you know something that is like just snap a picture of it.
Okay.
That's
I will.
totally fine.
So,
It makes no sense.
Any of our listeners, if you know the solution, please type it into our chat.
That would be great.
Comments go down below.
Yes.
It seems like the simplest thing in the world to
I've noticed that with a couple other programs too, though, man. So that are pretty ubiquitous out there. So
most of them are. Most of them are. And again, it's the weird things where like if you just scaled these things the same way that you scale like if you just kept it normal, where if I go in there and I, mouse wheel up with the control button, right? If I do that in Chrome, it makes the things, bigger.
yeah.
But you're sitting there looking at your tabs like you're reading a fortune cookie, sheet from a mile away. I'm like, why the fuck would you do this?
Right.
Why would you think I can read these if I have to zoom this in like this?
Yeah. Is Chrome the only browser you use?
So no. So
Okay.
I generally use Chrome, although I want to get away from it,
Yeah.
but I can't. I use Microsoft Edge for when I'm looking at PDFs.
It's not as derogatory as I think of it. So.
Well, I'm gonna say this: Microsoft Edge actually has the best write on PDF
yeah.
format that I've seen without having to do one of the things where like, you want to pay? Like,
Oh,
no,
for-
of course not.
Oh, for Adobe?
Yes.
Fucking racket. So
Fuck that.
yeah, fuck that.
I can't even tell you how many people are probably subscribed to Adobe in one capacity, but they don't know.
Oh, millions. They've got tons of free money coming in.
It's
out there. They don't have
stupid
to do
company
shit.
does no
Stupid
actual
company,
work.
Yeah. Just locks up your work, fuckers.
I know.
So, yeah.
I know.
It's like the guy, who lives at the bottom of your street and parks his truck in the middle of it. So you either gotta drive around him or pay him to move. So,
That's extortion.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
actually, yeah.
So yeah. No, I can't stand that. Yeah, I don't know, man. I've been unhappy with Chrome a lot lately. So
Do you use something else?
I don't know. I have used Edge.
I don't like it. I mean, it's
I don't like
okay.
it either. It works. So
I shouldn't have a problem with it because when you come in there, it's like, yeah, it's the same but different. I mean, it's just things aren't where I like them. But like, I go in there and I'm not like the biggest thing like Chrome. It's the same thing I always complain about is like, yeah, but all my passwords are here.
Yeah.
yeah. So not me anymore. He's password manager. So
Right.
yeah,
Right.
that's actually pretty handy. But then like, I don't know. Chrome is just everything is so tied together on Chrome. So if I'm doing shit on my PC, which is a lot of what I do,
Yep.
okay, then
It's the entirety of what I do.
yeah, it's well, yeah, but then like all my plugins on my phone are fucking changed and shit like
Yes.
this, and it's just like
Yes.
don't do that. So
Yeah.
these are separate devices, and so but if it's just linked to your Gmail account, it's like, well, what the fuck? So, and I did try their AI on the search function for a little bit.
Yeah.
It was garbage, man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, it was. I deleted that shit as soon. I spent like 10 minutes in it. It was like, no, I want you to find the stop auto filling my shit.
That's
So
Yeah. that's the reason that I want to get away from Chrome is they've started saying just openly like we're going to use the AI algorithms to filter information, and I'm like, that's not for you to decide.
yeah, exactly.
They say it is for us to decide. I'm like,
Well, then you're not for me.
Well, yeah, that maybe not for me. So,
but then I'm stuck in the position where I'm like, so I'm going to use Edge, which is powered by something that's also going to do that here. So I've got limited choice. Well, I'm going to use that dumpster fire known as Brave, or I'm going to use
I haven't even heard of that.
DuckDuckGo. or
DuckDuckGo,
DuckDuckGo.
but DuckDuckGo admitted to collecting and selling information. Like, you guys are no better. I'm like, I'm kind of plumb out of choices. So I'm sitting there racking my brain, and I'm thinking about the time where when Microsoft got sued to death, it just blew them up here. It's like, you guys are monopolizing because you include Microsoft Internet Explorer with Windows.
Yeah.
And they lost that lawsuit.
Yep.
Right? And I'm sitting there looking at this same situation and I'm thinking, how is Google a thing? How is Google and their tied up bullshit a thing? How is Apple a thing with their infrastructure? How is this? Now I get it. I get that there are a number of different lawsuits pending right now. They're not going to win. Right? They're whatever they're going to reach is going to be like, okay, well, this is a problem. Pay us, and this will go away. Right? It won't result
Right,
in
yeah.
basically Apple being broken. It's like, go back to like the long distance services. I'm like, the Bell services got broken up.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is far more ubiquitous than any of that shit.
Yeah, back when we had one phone company.
The one.
the one,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And it gave birth to a whole bunch of crappy things like MCI and who were the other loser long distance companies out there? It
Back in
was
the day.
yeah.
Was Quest one of them?
I think Quest ended up being
Yeah, I
one.
think
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, for far smaller things, they're like, we have to shatter your company to a million pieces. You know, it's too much power to be in one ring. And then you look at this bullshit that they have going on here, like, yeah, and yeah, and then they're like, we have to break this. I'm like, how are you guys? These such easy targets. It's such an easy case to make.
Oh, Amazon's the easiest one. So.
Oh,
they're-
God, yeah,
that
yeah.
Was, it's like, wait a minute, this is two enormous businesses glued together, running like not just this enormous retail site that depends on cloud space in order to run effectively, but you also own that.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
It's like clever, but not
Right.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, all that happens is, yeah, they lose cases in other countries, right?
Mhm.
But all they end up doing is saying, like, okay, well, you lost, but you can solve that by a $565 million fine.
Oh, they just pay the fine.
And that's all they do.
Yeah, they make the money back.
Yeah.
Apple's done that for years, man.
Yeah. So is Google.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
is Google.
They do the same fucking thing.
Yeah. Oh, what did I see about one of the guys there the other day?
At Google?
Yeah, one of the two guys. He had an Epstein tie that nobody knew about.
Oh.
That's the least surprising breakthrough that I think I've...
Oh, really? I've never really heard anything bad about the two guys who founded it. I don't know anything about them. So, but anyway, I just saw that
Oh.
one of them actually had an Epstein tie the other day. So they're still getting info out of that slowly.
Yeah, some dude that was high up, I can't remember where. He also got busted for child porn and
What, in Google?
he's in a he was a former FBI guy that ended up working for one of the
He wasn't the Twitter guy, was he?
which Twitter guy?
Oh, the dude that all the Twitter files were pointing finger. Oh no, that guy wasn't FBI. He was CIA, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
my bad.
Yeah, and then there was of course the what is his name? Friedman, Sam.
Sam Blankman Fried.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's in new trouble after they let him go.
Like, you know, they put him on house arrest, and they said,
Like-
"Don't do this, don't do that." And he immediately goes out and does all those things because he's sitting at his house bored. So, and it's like, "No, bro, all right, back to jail with you." So he's like, "Can I get weekday work release?" That's what I saw yesterday. He was asking for that. Judge told him, "Fuck off." So yeah,
I can't believe they let him go in the first place.
I mean, he didn't kill anybody, so sure.
Well,
I mean,
no,
yeah.
but
I mean, you know, it's not a violent crime, so yeah. I mean, they usually do that, I think, but.
and then I got to actually look into the basis of the fourth indictment.
Oh yeah, it's.
Did you research some of this?
I
shit?
did, and my legal guy, it's 100% bullshit. It's not going anywhere. So it's his thing. He's like, I don't know, but he's like, if these are coordinated cases, the people who did this are stupid, because the DC case, if they win that one, any of those, it negates that shit in Atlanta. Okay, because then it's the responsibility of one man who is trying to do blah blah blah. And then if you go down to Atlanta, it's a RICO case, so which is stupid. Okay, it is nothing, but it basically says, all right, so no, it's not just one man, it's all these guys.
Yes.
So if they prove that one, then this one doesn't fucking matter. And so these guys are not like on the same page. So in terms of like trying to, you know, and then there's supposed to be more coming out next week, I think.
Oh my gosh.
He's up to 121 indictments. So, and yeah,
This is absurd. This is like
there's like two. There's two that are actually kind of legit. So with the rest of them, like everything in this one's all bullshit. So because there's no like what's the overt? So what's the overt act? What's the actual crime? Here, those crimes are technically just perjury. So committed by two very low level people. All right, and not in the same jurisdiction that this
Nope.
is. Yeah, exactly. And so those are the crimes that tie everybody else. There's no way. Yeah, my legal guy says there's no way this thing gets out of appeal. So there's no way. So you know, and yeah.
it's crazy. No, and on top of that, like the whole version of like racketeering, I'm like, through what kind of like intimidation are they trying to get people to do illegal things?
yeah, exactly.
I'm like, this is absurd.
There's none of that in there. So,
And then when you saw when the actual trial date was set, it was the day before Super Tuesday.
oh yeah, that's not gonna hold up. They're gonna get that remanded to federal court anyway. So yeah, no.
And that's where the basically the people in Atlanta, basically the legislature in there, they actually convened a special meeting. It's like, this looks politically motivated, and we're gonna see if we.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And the
Oh, I guarantee you, somebody's trying to make a career out of it. That's for sure. She's she's shooting for a shot in Congress next couple of years, man.
And-
We gotta go try and take a shot at the Orange Menace here,
Oh,
man.
okay.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. And this was the thing that, like, I don't know if this is the right angle to take or not, but basically, like, you see all these are coming out of, you know, like you said, DC, Georgia, things like this. It's like, okay, well then, if that's the case, then what is stopping any of the Republican states from basically going after whatever enemies in the same kind of like?
Oh, nothing. Yeah.
And that's the question: is are
Yeah.
we going to escalate to this or not?
I don't think so. I think these guys are gonna get embarrassed by all this. It's just it's like it's like throwing more gas on a fire that's already burning, and so you know, I mean, it just makes him more popular.
In the Republicans.
Yeah, but you know, there's like a lot of people
There are
in the
even
media who are just
Democrats that
fucking
are
sick of
actually.
it.
There are
Yeah.
actually even people on the Democratic side that are seeing this
They
as like.
wouldn't vote for it.
No, but they might not
But
show
they
up for the other
might
guy.
not vote.
Yeah. So, you know, or there's a lot of fracturing going on in the Democrat Party right now.
And in the Republican Party. Let's be fair.
Yeah, but everybody knows who's going to win that. So
Yeah, it's kind of settled.
yeah, I don't even know. Like even he said it the other day. He was like, "Stop fighting. We need to stop fighting. So we got to come together as a party." So and he's like, "I'm gonna go. I'm not going to the debate. I'm gonna go on Tucker instead." So and it's like, okay, yeah, why do we have a debate? You guys need to go the fuck home. So
Or all you guys get together and see if you beat him.
nobody can beat him, man.
But that's your only shot.
Yeah.
Is like all you guys, just like don't say anything bad about each other and just be like,
They're not gonna
all right,
combine like Voltron, man.
we're gonna bash Trump and see
So-
if we can tear down his numbers.
They won't do it because the only chance that any of them have in a political future, including Ron DeSantis, actually Ron DeSantis is probably permafucked now. So, until Donald Trump keels over, then he'll be back. So, because Donald Trump's not that much younger than Joe Biden.
No.
So, and
It seems like he's 20 years younger.
it seems
but
like
he's
he
not.
is, but I guarantee you his arteries are just as bad.
Oh,
Oh, he might die.
He
That
might
one,
die,
yeah.
holy
So-
shit, man. If you're talking about the dude who has the fucked up sweat from parquet, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
that's-
exactly.
Yeah, if anybody's bitten off the gluttony tree, he's
Yeah.
he's been on that for a long time. So
But he's right. He's like, we don't need a primary. So no, we'll do all the things. And they try to get him to come, and they say you got to support the dudes who actually gets the thing. He's like, fuck that, I'm not gonna do that. So, and he's like, why would I? And everybody's like, actually, that's a good point. Why would you?
The problem
So-
is that's not. That shouldn't be a good answer, but it
It
is.
kind of is a good point. Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that I can say here is like, upon examination, is this something where you have to look and say, like, do debates need to be a mandatory thing for succession?
Yeah, but
And
that's up to the party, man. So,
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because at this point, it's like, well, why have that?
Right.
Why would the
Yeah.
person who's in the lead agree to it? Because they only have things to lose.
You would if you were like
If it was
3
closer.
points ahead.
yeah, if it was a close,
If you're like all the points ahead, like he is, so because even DeSantis is down to what, like 10%. And he's barely
he's
number
been-
2.
Yeah, he's,
So yeah.
depending on the state that
what
you're in.
was Trump back when he ran the first time?
Oh, way low, way
Yeah.
way low. I mean, it was Jeb's party to lose, and he totally did. He totally did. So
Yeah, I think he was polling below Carly Fiorina and
yeah,
Yeah.
I remember her.
Yeah.
And Chris Christie was he was back there back then.
that guy, man.
I like him, man, but I mean,
Would you dare say he's presidential material?
absolutely not. So, yeah, no, man. I mean, so at least Donald Trump's corruption is cute. So, it's like, so you bought the hotel across the street, right? You didn't change any of the prices, huh? No, we know what you all did. Are you gonna have that down at Mar-a-Lago, huh? That's convenient. You're gonna put the Secret Service up in the good rooms, huh?
Right? No. You're right in the sense it's almost honest. It's like when we it's like
kind of, yeah.
it's
but-
like when we joked about like misgivings or misgivings that are so blatantly obvious there's no way around it, where you look around and say, yeah,
Right.
it's like we talked about. It's like, well, you have a cable wire, it's been unplugged and it's plugged into my house.
It's like that when I got here.
Right, the same
yeah.
thing. It's like, well, you're not paying for electricity, but there is an orange cable leading from your house to my house.
Right,
Right,
right.
right. And there's something, honest about that. The what was Michael Vick's code name when he showed up to get like his clap checked out? Ron
my-
Mexico?
Oh, yeah,
Ron
yeah.
Mexico.
When you
Yeah.
find
Oh my
out
God,
that
that's
our
right.
current president was using a Ron Mexico kind of name,
Oh, Joe Biden, yeah.
it
What is it?
was-
Is it
it's
like
something-
Larry Peters?
Yeah.
So, yeah, Larry, the big guy, Peters.
Yeah. When you find out that our sitting president is doing that kind of shit.
Yeah. I don't know how uncommon that is though. So because they've busted other people for using like Mitt Romney, didn't he he had one that he was using basically to shitpost So do you remember that?
Yeah.
You remember
But that was shit posting.
Maybe, you don't know. I mean, he might have had other things in there.
Well, he got busted shit
He
posting.
did get busted shit. That's right.
Yeah, that was.
Or no, he was pimping his own site, wasn't he, or something?
It's still shit.
Yeah.
It's Mormon shit posting, but it's still shit posting,
right.
man.
But
It's basically that's the equivalent of like giving your own company Yelp reviews.
Well, that's what Kevin Durant did.
Oh yeah.
He created his own separate account so that he could talk praise about himself, and then got on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just like in colloquial. That's just ghetto. That's low rent. Yeah.
Yeah, but see, this is particularly stupid. So, because they'll be able to FOIA the rest of the emails out of him now. So, if there's anything there, we're going to find out about it. So, sooner, probably rather than later. That's why there's like people in the Democrat Party now are kind of like, oh, who the
We
fuck
gotta
else?
find
We got to
somebody.
find somebody now. So, yeah.
So if it's Trump against Gavin Newsom,
Trump will beat him. So,
Gavin Newsom will win California, maybe.
Trump will not win California regardless. Yeah.
Trump could run unopposed and still
Yeah.
lose.
Yeah, he'd still lose to write-in candidates.
Oh yeah, okay. So you got, in theory, you're like, okay, you win 49 states except for this one and New York, and these have both been won by Alfred E. Newman.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mickey Mouse, huh?
Yeah. Howard the Duck, yeah, who famously ran. No, you're right. I'm still watching that one like a hawk because nonsense keeps coming out of here
Oh yeah.
daily.
Oh yeah.
Daily.
There's going to be more on, like, they've got his boy. So, I mean, there's no way he's paid taxes on that kind of money. They're going to totally Al Capone him. So,
And then he'll get pardoned.
you can't, because it'll take longer to prosecute than that. That's why all this Trump bullshit. There's no way they're going to do that right before Super Tuesday. So,
That's the date they said.
that doesn't mean that's the day they're going to do it, because I guarantee you they're going to fight that shit tooth and nail. So if it gets remanded to federal court, it'll get pushed back another year. So, which is what they're trying to do. So,
Yeah, they're trying to get it pushed to 2026.
Yeah. So, and I mean, if you have a judge who's like, no continuances in a case like that, okay, that's going to be an appeal right there, because obviously, yeah, I know, like, it's just stupid, man. So it's a waste of everybody's fucking time and money. So, yeah. And yeah, like, same thing will be true with Hunter Biden. You can't be pardoned for a crime you haven't been charged and convicted of. So you can't pre-pardon somebody. So you can't give a coupon. Yeah,
Monopoly cards to get out of jail free.
Look, it's the same shit that happened in Atlanta, where it's like, you guys posted the indictment before the grand jury had finished convening.
Yeah, exactly. So there's so many things that are fucked up with it that it's obviously small ball bullshit. And then, like, the whole Hunter Biden thing, like, look, Joe Biden says next week he's not running anymore. Nobody gives a fuck about Hunter Biden anymore. So they'll go back, they'll get another sweetheart deal, something like that. It'll all go under the rug, but his dad won't be in the running anymore. So off we go. So they won't care. Republicans certainly won't care at that point in time. They'll be focused on whoever's next. So that's how Joe sees his boy. So
I just wish the other alternative decided not to say some shit about the Jews.
what do you mean?
Oh, RFK Jr.
Oh man,
The
he's
thing
fucking
that
nuts,
the thing
dude.
that disqualifies is like, yeah, you can say a lot of crazy things, but don't say this is a Jew immune virus.
Well, and don't touch that fucking rail that's marked hot, electric,
No.
abortion here. Yeah. Dude, I'm sorry, man. I was kind of on board with him there for a little bit. I mean, I don't agree with half the shit that comes out of his mouth.
No, but to his
So-
credit, I believe that he believes it.
I do too, but I just didn't
And that's
realize
now
that
a
he
problem.
believes everything.
Yes, that's the problem.
He's not lying. It's like, oh no, you actually do feel that way. That's bad. So,
Right.
it's like, I'm sorry, buddy, but Wi-Fi doesn't give you fucking cancer. So,
Well, considering how many Americans are sitting by it,
We're
now,
all
They
done.
did it. Yeah.
right.
So if it does give you cancer, it's the kind that you don't need to worry about. So, Yeah, but he believes all of it, man. He's legit on that stuff. But yeah, his whole thing the
And
other
he's
day,
passionate about it.
the abortion thing the other day, as soon as that came out of his mouth, I was like, oh, you're fucked. You're done. So you can't. So the Republicans aren't going to trust you on half the shit now, okay? Because that's a new position that you're just taking, and the Democrats are going to abandon you. Go back to your little like fucking piece of Cape Cod and throw in a fishing line because that's about all we got for you lined up now.
I just wanted him to stick around long enough to cause trouble. And
Cornel West will do that to Joe Biden. So Cornel West
You
is
think?
he's actively pulling away black voters from Joe Biden as we speak. So and he's gonna do that as a Green Party candidate. You know who fucked up the election last time for Donald Trump?
oh,
Libertarians.
yeah,
It's gonna
true.
happen the other way
Yeah.
around this time, man.
Yeah, yeah.
If Libertarians had just voted red last time, there would be no question about nothing, man. So, but it's gonna happen to Democrats this time because nobody likes Jill Stein. So, yeah.
I don't hate her.
I don't hate her either, but she doesn't really do anything. So,
No.
don't get excited about her.
No.
So it's just like, oh, fuck it. I don't want to vote for Hillary. I'll vote for Jill Stein. Okay. So
yeah.
that's fine. Cornel West do the same thing, but he'll actively pull some of these communities away. In urban communities where it's going to matter. So. All you need is a percent.
Yeah.
All you need is a percent, man.
Well, dude, Ross Perot taught us that.
He taught George H.W. Bush that really well.
What an interesting time in
I
history.
know, man. It's
In
fascinating.
hindsight,
Yeah.
yeah.
Here's one of your mistakes, man. George H.W. Bush had beaten Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton probably be in jail because he probably would have been busted on rape.
Okay, this is going to be the last thing that we muse upon.
Oh, okay.
Because you're right. Because what's interesting there is, all right, so if we take it that way, right? So if George H.W. wins,
Mhm.
right? What happens there is, that's going to run until 1996. One of
Okay.
the reasons that that Bill Clinton is remembered so fondly is a coincidental thing that lined up with his presidency. That would be the explosion of the economy via the internet.
Yeah, if George Bush had hung around for if he had gotten one more year out of that, I mean, the whole recession was just evaporated. Everybody was making mint.
Yeah.
He would have walked out in 1996, fucking getting carved on Mount Rushmore. So,
And that's the thing is, I don't know what happens in 1996.
his boy would have never been president either, man.
Right. This is
So there would have been a whole nother election cycle behind that. So.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Well,
let's
I
stop
don't-
this.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
bad.
You know, the thing that we're
Sounds
saying,
like a movie.
the thing that we're saying that we don't like doing is exactly what we're doing.
let's
This whole
not do
what if
that.
shit.
Yeah, let's not
All
do
right.
that.
All right.
All right, I'm Pat.
I'm Will.
Nazis on the moon.
That was Jeff.